Evet, kaldığımız yerden aynen devam ediyorum. Şu bulduğumuz bir notları birazcık karıştırmak istiyorum.
It's the legend you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Tamam,
There's
başka
a
bir şey.
piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue
Kısımların
heart.
altında.
It's
Evet,
just
geldim ya.
toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Okay.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That's
Okay.
right.
Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. It
Getir
depends.
bilgiler.
Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved. How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Nasıl
Any credible
okuyabiliyorum?
light with the right wavelength will do. Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Olur.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines. For once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized. Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention.
Wow,
But there
okay.
is the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Haftada 2 vaka iyi bir...
2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
God knows I've made my share. He tries not to think of them. Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. the guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, it's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still I named
Güzel güzel.
it.
Kim abi
I
ısındı
pray
bize.
his loved ones never find out. Ray spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Abo.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia.
No, actually. Any ideas?
Aynanın ardında bekler seni eriyen. Erin yener. O ne demekmiş? Batan güneş. İki ucu boklu değnek. Tam benlik bir şeymiş bu.
Yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, they're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case.
Okay.
Fun is outlawed with this guy. What a knock!
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now.
Ne kadar
I'm
mutlu
going
oldum
to
abi.
start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Evet. Seviye atladık.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Vaka dosyalarını okuyabiliyormuşuz. Sarı
In the
kağıtlara
back, you
bakalım.
see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy form. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe, but they appear pleasantly vague. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not a dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers. Interview requests for bad guys. What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better.
Daha iyi
The
hissediyormuşuz.
rest of
Okay.
the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM. Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
Okey, tamam, yeter reis. El yatkınlığı ver. Yazım, işbirlik, anlaştırma. Etkileş.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board.
%42.
Permeables drawer inside.
Kayıt alıp deneyelim.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers is not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens.
Hemen.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers.
%42 ya, ha?
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The two ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue. It smells of chewing gum. Apricot flavored.
O pantolonun cebinde çıkan kokuyla aynısı.
Exactly like the gum wrapper you found. The same brand of chewing gum.
Aynısıymış gerçekten.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile. You think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please.
Adem at şunu dedi. Haydi bakalım.
A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it. Your hands shake, holding onto it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a
Hadi
vast,
bakayım.
vast soul, and I will always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark.
Aha. Bizim
Small
adam
white
iptal.
dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No. Hold on. To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
Yana doğru düştük. Ne oluyor lan?
There is nothing.
Öldün mü?
Again.
İlkel sürüngen beyni. Hiçbir şey yok. Hiçbir şey.
Nothing sad, brother. No treachery. Just blackout.
Alt tarafı düşüp bayıldık ya. Ha.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. And the small light that's on.
Birazcık bir ışık
Look,
var.
that's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
İki
Who is
bakayım.
what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
Minik daha.
The call when you're dead.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it because it's always there.
Olup bir matem.
There is no Voyager road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause. Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape. Its lack of beauty.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours
Okay.
down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
Lan reis kız mı
With
içiyoruz?
greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened? That does sometimes happen.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Hadi de şu vakayı çözelim.
Good.
Let's go.
The Ledger of Failure in
Üstüne
Hades is
defteri.
a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses.
Allah Allah.
Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
Peki. Oo, empati, içimdeki deniz, hüsran ve efkar. Okay.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip. Then
Vaka dosyasını okuyalım ya.
faint smell of
Belki işe yarar bir şey çıkar.
Yes,
Aynen
you
öyle.
can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41. Then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. Why, yes, your precinct number is 41. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are yours.
Tamam, Harry.
That is improbable. It takes about half an hour to piece one together using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The true love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to... The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the case files do not show you finding the author of the crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, a staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us. In any case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the quarter. And agreement as well. What do you want to tackle next? Not much has changed in the meeting. Without resistance or sound, the 2 panels move against each other. The compartment, it's slightly.
Okey. Başka zaman ona devam ederiz. Şimdi bir fikir geldi değil mi? Soluk bir matem. Küçük adam gittikçe uzaklaşıyor. Ne demek lan? Ki zaten %94 birazdan bu bitiyor. Evet. Yani otoriteyi anlaştırma. Hadi bir tane bunu öğren. Evet. Ne yapalım? Allah Allah. İkramları oku. Önce kinemaya gir ve farları aç. Cesedi indir. Oo, bir sürü şey gelmiş. Okey. Daha bakacağız şu. Harbiden bunu okuyabilirim ama.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone,
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto...
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Inside, you see a
Yeah.
set of steering levers, a radio microphone. As you hold
Yes.
your ledger's clip under the headlamp, a shimmering iridescent pattern
There she is. Revachol West.
around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Let me see. Right here. No, it does not.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots. Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet. The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some. You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, precisely.
18.216.
The last row has 3 perforations. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of service.
İlk satır
18
kaç yıl?
years.
18 mi?
Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
Müzik söylemek istediğinden dolayı bir megastar. Allah Allah. Yani bilmiyorum ki.
Fair point. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see. Wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations.
Oo.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
Pek sevmedim
But it
belli
seems
ama.
as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task description.
Indirect modes of taxation.
Evet, dolaylı vergilendirme yöntemleri düşüncemiz tamam.
Turns out those financial oversight committee gangsters stuffed millions of hard-earned dividends away in the last place anyone thought to look.
Kanka
The
ne
hearts
anlatıyorsun
and
ya?
minds of everyday Rivisholians. You need to
Buyur
spread
liberal.
that deregulation gospel to the people. Tell them about that foreign fair tax. Preach that 98%
Empatim
gross burden.
hiç
Preach
yerine
it,
gitti.
preacher man. Set the brothers free. Tax
Peki. Eksi bir empati yedik. Bunun için beceriye ihtiyacımız var. Her yüzde güzel olur. Evet. Trafik gizemi. Cesedin ilk incelemesi tamamladıktan sonra hadi soralım bunu.
Yes?
Bitmedi mi?
What do you want to know? What's there to say? It's just stupidity. The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the union, well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
Ya ne
the
anlatıyorsun ya?
silence carries.
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist. Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
On tecrübe
He's
al.
actually glad it's addressed now.
Montuk 5 iken bile %58, tam bunu sonra yaparız. Hadi birazcık hareket edelim. Şimdi cesedi indiremiyoruz. Yardım isteyeceğiz. İnsanlara dövmeleri soruyoruz. Gidelim şeylerle konuşalım. İçeridekilerle. Seri bak burada, hemen buradayken bunu araştırabiliriz.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sir, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it. Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Izleri law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern diadem, alongside EPIS and the coalition government.
Yani bu Silivri rastgele birisini nasıl bulacağız ki?
Of
Bineceğim
course.
ama.
What is her number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 194.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Oluyor galiba.
Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment. Takes a bit to get to the...
Just wait. Relax.
Ya
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello?
Sylvie sanırım daha önce tanışmıştık. Nasıl yani?
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
Gerçekten tanışmışız. Bir tarafından salladım ama. Evet. Bir sürü soru soracağız. Şimdi işini bırakmışsın
Why
hemen.
did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Why not?
What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your business. I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing
Okay.
everything up again. No, not me. No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast. Got it.
Yani bir sendikada var. Bir tane de sahilin
It was
ilerisi.
someone
Okay.
else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the corpse. No one calls the police. The Union would get angry.
Oo, sendika kızıyor polis çağrılınca.
What the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Okay.
Garbage.
I don't know what to tell you, officer. I didn't call you because I didn't want to get in trouble with the others. With the Union. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, go on. No, I don't know. It wasn't me. I haven't been out there since. I was terrified of the stench and the corpse. Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't go there again.
You told me back in the whirling. You told everybody, and so does your badge. I don't... Oh, no, I haven't, sorry.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? Yes, you absolutely should. It's awful that you lost it.
Evet, eksi bir moral yedik ya, şaka gibi ya.
It feels like you haven't worn yours in a long, long time.
Silahını
No,
ver.
not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and... You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes.
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people don't like that. I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains." Very nice visuals there.
Me neither. No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like, "Big bucks cannot lie," and it almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask.
Okay. Uniform.
I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things. Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it.
Biz ne yapmışız ya?
I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
Yok canım sağ ol.
I do hope so. Please don't call me again. Bye.
%72 tutturursun ya. Yaptın.
Yes.
Yes.
You've obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags when she was still working there.
I'm not mad. It's just you were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. It just made me want to quit. The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. Didn't seem like you had fun doing it, though. Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I have seen so many assholes.
Wow. Kadın bizim yüzümüzden şey yapmış.
I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you, well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now. We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know. And then screamed something about how you're a piece of shit human being, and why does anyone even let you work as a policeman? That you'd fire yourself, but you can't even do that. And then I had to deal with your toilet, the one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke. No, you really weren't.
Okay.
You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened. Wait, really? No, this is absolutely not true. I like Guard. I really do. No, I was actually flattered. I've always liked him. It was just bad timing. With the corpse and all that.
There's a pause. You can almost see her on the other side, the telephone cord coiled around her index.
I didn't know what to say to him later. Then you came and destroyed the place. So I left without explaining. I should have told him maybe. Okay, but please don't mess it up. Please don't take out your gun or something.
Oğlum silahım nerede onu bile bilmiyorum. Kadının teki satın aldı.
All sorts of things. From disco, rock too. So much disco and rock. Which one would that be? Sad? I think the one you mean is the smallest church in Saint-Saëns. Butchered that right up.
Interesting. You still have to find it, however. You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio. Wordless, the
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of...
Evet. bol konuşmalı bir bölümün daha sonuna geliyoruz. Bayağı bir şey öğrendik ne halt yediğimizi. Aynen buradan devam edeceğim.